Last year, I had visited Visakhapatnam for a medical conference. And just as I entered the conference venue, I felt a very strange kind of a familiarity with the place. It was as if I had already been there. And it was so familiar that I almost instinctively turned towards the direction to the room where my session was about to begin. I kept wondering, and I tried to recall, have I already been there before? But since I was visiting Visakhapatnam for the first time in my life, it was impossible that I could have been there before. So that is déjà vu, the feeling of familiarity or the feeling that one has lived through an experience with the awareness that one hasn't. So, what causes déjà vu? Is it some glitch in the brain? Or is it some kind of a paranormal thing? Some say that déjà vu occurs due to memory echoes of our past lives. And I'm sure that most of you must have watched at least one movie or a serial episode based on that concept. And then there are others who say that déjà vu occurs when we tune into our alternate selves living in a different dimension. Now, these theories, although they are fun to listen to, they do not have any scientific basis. Well, unfortunately, the scientists too don't have any solid proof behind the occurrence of déjà vu. There are around 40 different theories trying to explain déjà vu, and unfortunately, none can actually be proven. That is mainly because the déjà vu is described as a feeling of familiarity, and you know that a feeling is very hard to measure. There are a few theories that have been accepted more or less. The divided attention theory. Now picture this. I walk into this restaurant with a friend, and I'm talking to a friend. I notice the things that are immediately in front of me, like the plates and the glasses kept on the table. I am engrossed in the conversation with my friend. However, my brain is also picking up information from the room with my peripheral vision. Now, with that peripheral vision, I also see a scene where the waiter is serving coffee at a table far away from mine, and my brain registers it, processes it, and stores it in my brain. I am not consciously aware of it. So later on, when the same scene repeats, that the waiter comes and serves coffee at my table, I feel like that this has already happened before. The scene is replaying again, and it has already happened. But at the same time, I do know that it isn't possible because I have come to this restaurant for the first time. So that is divided attention theory. The next one is till date the most accepted ones because it has been proven with the help of functional MRI scans. And to explain that, I have to tell you a bit about the structure of the brain. So the brain is divided broadly into 4 lobes. The frontal lobe that helps with the planning and programming. Like when I woke up today in the morning, I planned my day that I'll have breakfast, get ready, come to this TEDx event, then go back home. I have to then catch my flight. So this planning and programming was done by my frontal lobe. Then behind, over here, one on each side, is the parietal lobe that helps with the sensory perception. Like, for example, the feeling of the clothes on my body, that is being done by the parietal lobe. Then we have, right behind the ears, the temporal lobe, which is the most important for a déjà vu experience because that is where we store all our memories right from the birth till today. And then we have the occipital lobe right behind, which is responsible for visual processing. Now remember though, although it is divided into 4 different lobes, these functions do not happen independently. Like for example, at this given moment, I am doing so many things. I am processing so much of information, like I'm speaking, I'm hearing what I'm speaking, then I'm visualizing all of you, I'm standing here, I know my perimeter that if I walk beyond that, I'm going to fall off the stage. So this entire information is being processed simultaneously at this given second. So how does the brain do that? That is because these lobes are connected to accomplish any task. Isn't it possible that with so much information load we are putting on this poor brain, isn't it possible that sometimes it may retrieve a wrong memory? Usually mistakes do not happen. That is because there is also an inbuilt mechanism of fact-checking. The brain fact-checks the retrieved memory, whether it is appropriate for this given moment, for this given task. So when déjà vu occurs, we probably retrieve an inappropriate memory, and then when we recall, our brain quickly fact-checks and says that no, this is a wrong memory, and it is not possible that it could have happened. Now, déjà vu occurs more in the young, and it also occurs more frequently when we are stressed or fatigued. Is déjà vu always normal? If a déjà vu experience occurs repeatedly, or if it is very stereotypic, as in every time it is the same memory that resurfaces, or if a déjà vu experience is associated with other abnormal behavior, or any headache, or loss of consciousness, then it may not be a simple déjà vu experience. It may signal some serious underlying neurological disease. The multitude of theories only shows us how little we know about déjà vu. There is still so much mystery around it, and probably that is what makes the human mind so fascinating. I hope that someday you all will be sitting in the auditorium listening to somebody break down the actual science behind déjà vu, and then you'll all be thinking to yourselves, I've been here before.